I'm sorry, somehow my video got lost, corrupted or whatever, where I finished pulling out that alternator. It's two E430s to get the main alternator bolts out. It's a, I believe, a 8mm for the small nut on the back of the alternator, and I believe a 13 for the larger one, but I could be wrong. I don't remember. I did that yesterday. I was just going to edit the videos today. In my shop program, on Mercedes program, it said something about pulling it out of the bottom. I removed the alternator from the top. I had to remove that little circulator pump for the hot water that goes to the dual valve, and that hose bracket down on the front side as well. Just take that out and you can manipulate that alternator around and get it out through the top, okay, and back in that way. I'm sorry the video got screwed up, guys. I try to bring you useful information. Please forgive me. Sometimes I shoot with two cameras. I'm probably better off doing that. That way at least I have backup footage. Sorry about that. Alright, guys, I hope some of this was useful to you. Remember, take good care of your cars. They'll take good care of you. Please give a subscribe, help support our channel, okay, guys? Next video I'll be doing will probably be putting a water pump in on an M113 engine. That's in an 01 Mercedes E430. The bearing is shot on that. It's squealing like crazy and getting ready to start leaking soon, I'm sure. Okay, guys, bye-bye. Family, Paul here. We got a 2001 Mercedes E430 W210 platform chassis with the M113 engine in it. We're going to be doing the alternator on this today. It's a tight squeeze in here, so I'm getting things out of the way. You're going to want to disconnect your intake hose. There's a clip on here on the top, one on the bottom. Pop them. Then take your snorkel off that goes from here to the front. Then this air box just lifts right out. Your engine cover pulls right off. I'm going to get the fan out of my way. I've taken my fan off before and put never sees on it. There are several jobs you need to remove this fan for. I did the timing chain tensioner. The fan had to come off. And I replaced the idler pulley on here. That was also going, both bearings are going on. My idler was going and my alternator bearings. You need to get the fan out to get the idler pulley out, because that retaining bolt, that T45, is very long and it does not fit between the blades. Can you move? So, I know you want like being in movies. Here, you want to be on film? That's Frank. This guy is something else. He likes to be a movie star. You're going to need this retaining tool. It just makes it easier. I don't know if you want to finagle it with something else. But this holds your water pump pulley. It goes over the retaining bolts for the water pump pulley. And then this 32, 36mm slim wrench. You have to go with a slim wrench in here, because you will not fit a regular one in there when you're trying to retain those retaining bolts there. You see how that'll fit right in there? Mine almost rounded out when I had taken it off. What I did is I squeezed two of these wrenches in here. It was a real tight squeeze. I actually had to hammer it in, and I hit it with a hammer and broke it free. That's why I put all that never sees on there. I don't want that to happen again. So I'm just going to get that fan and this shroud out of the way. To get the shroud off, you're just going to pop these two retaining clips here. I think those need to come off. Yes, those need to come off. Then the shroud will come out with the fan. Okay, it's a pretty easy job. You're going to need a E10 to get on top of your tensioner. You're going to put an E10 on there with a ratchet and pull it counterclockwise to loosen your serpentine belt. Get it up off of your idler pulley, and then we'll begin taking the alternator out. Okay, let me start getting that fan out of there, guys. Here, I just rushed and I broke my fan shroud. Don't do that. Take your time getting those clips off. I should have pried it up from the other side where I didn't crack my fan shroud. I'm going to try to crazy glue that. I don't know if that's going to work, but we're going to attempt that. That's not a good example there on how to do a job, is it?
crazy glue or Gorilla Glue?
I got some crafts adhesive I'm gonna use on there.
Where's the piece? Go get the.
I'm gonna go get that now. I'm gonna just put this E10 right here down on the tip of that tensioner. That's little E10 stud. Then you go counterclockwise, lift your serpentine belt off your idler, then get it off your alternator. If you're gonna I have a brand new belt on here, but if you don't have a new belt, it's a good time to inspect your belt and replace it while you're doing the job. I believe these are E14s. It's a lot easier getting this fan out of your way, or else it's ridiculously tight trying to work in there, and you'll be fighting an unnecessary hard battle.
You got to take the bottom cover off.
They are. They're E14s. All right, your two main alternator bolts are E14s. I'll tell you what size bolts are on the, what size nuts are on the back. One thing you got to do before you start disassembling any of this is disconnect your battery cable. There's a little access panel in the rear passenger, under the rear passenger seat. I'll show you where that is. The bottom middle cover off. The underbody panel, it was 4 8mm little body bolts on there. Now I'm getting the battery disconnected. There's a little door here under the rear passenger seat. Gonna need an 11mm socket, 11mm nut on there. Just disconnect that cable, pull it out, and you can put your cover back on and make sure it doesn't reconnect. We'll just bend it up out of the way, make sure it doesn't reconnect. Okay. You're going to need your radio code when you reconnect your battery again. If you don't have the radio code, you can call the dealership with the VIN. Most dealerships, I think, will give it to you without proof of ownership. It's an older car. How many people are stealing radios out of these things, you know? Clips, one on the top, one on the bottom. Disconnect your air intake hose, pulls out, then your little cone, then this just lifts off. See these rubber grommets? They're connected to the body. Sometimes they'll stick to the air box. They're supposed to stay in the body. But there's 3 grommets that your air box fits into. It just pops back in. It's easier to get all this crap out of your way and you got more room to work. Don't rush because you'll break things like I did. I'm going to remove this circulator pump here out of the way as well. I think that might be a 10mm. I may not be correct on that, but yes, that's a 10mm. Little body bolt. What do they do with the ratchet now?
Electrical?
No, the little scratchman. Here it is. I gotta slow down because I'm getting frazzled and making mistakes. I feel like I'm rushing. I don't like to rush. It doesn't work out well, you know? Yeah. When you rush, you fuck up. Excuse my language, but that's reality. Right? Every time you rush, what happens?
I broke that bolt.
Yeah. Well, you're better off taking your time, you know, you actually get done sooner.
Thank God it wasn't, you know.
Vital necessity, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's 2 10mm little bolts on there, screws. That'll help get that hose out of the way, yeah, too.
And then he took a pry bar and tried to pry it on more, too.
I have the Mercedes shop manual, and in the shop manual it said remove the alternator from the bottom. But I don't know, it looks like I might have more room up here. I don't know if that's going to fit out of the bottom. But we will find out.
Whichever way it comes out, it comes out.
It's got to come out of there one way or another, I hope, right? I'm going to zip tie that up out of the way. I'm just going to get a little zip tie and tie that pump up out of the way.